So after last week and coming in here, I decided to come again, and I'm here quite early in the morning, just having a look round. Because this is a place where the black shadows have been seen. So yeah, I thought I'd come back and I thought I'm going to actually find somewhere to sit down. And I'm not going to have a fire or anything like that. I'm just going to sit down and see if anything shows itself. I can see somebody's had a fire and covered it over, saving the wood for next time they're here. They've covered this over to keep it dry, or as dry as it can be in this area. So yeah, I'm surrounded by all these woods at the moment and looking for shadow people. I've not seen any movement. Now today there's a little bit of a wind. Look at this tree here, how it's grown. Amazing. So there is a little bit of a wind, so if I hear anything crashing or falling from the trees onto the floor, that's going to distract me a bit. But it's I need to find myself something to sit on, a fallen log or something like that. Well, I'm here again, back in the place where our witness David had his camp. Now I've found the area just over there where he had his campfire. There's no tent or anything that's been left behind, but we are going back a couple of years now when it happened. So I don't think there would be any remains of a tent in that area. But what I'm doing is I'm sat in this position so I can see all around as I'm talking to you, and you can see behind me. So if there's any movements behind me, it will get picked up on the camera. Any movements in front, I'll see it with my eyes, hopefully see it with my eyes, unless I'm looking in that direction and that happens here. But I think whatever these shadows are, these shadow entities around here, I think the light showing themselves. And I think they do it to instill fear on people, similar to what I was talking about last time I was here. The jinn like to instill fear on people, and we know with the jinn as well, they can take many shapes and forms, one of them being the shape of a dog. We used to say it's not the shape of a dog man, and that is what's been reported, you know, whether they are dog men or whether these are some sort of alien entity that is visiting our planet, and they are shape-shifting, they are a shape-shifting species, or they're feeding that into our minds that they can change, and they're representing themselves as what we think they might be, or whatever state of mind we're in at the time. That's probably what they're changing to. So it could be one species that's showing themselves as all these different cryptids that are here on the planet, showing themselves as Bigfoot, as dogmen, and sometimes apparitions and shadow people. You know, they tend to do the same things. You talk about people who've had dogmen experiences and going back and having this like poltergeist activity in the room. And the same with Jinn. They've been known to follow people home, and there's poltergeist activity actually happening then. So is it the same species that's showing itself as all these different cryptids, what people talk about, all these different things that people don't see but have experiences of things touching them, or hearing voices, invisible voices coming through the air, which happened to me a couple of years ago whilst I was camping, not in this area here, but a bit further over towards that direction. I was camping out and I heard a noise, what sounded like a radio playing, and I'm in the middle of the woods, and I've chosen an area where there's no water, there's no river running through, and I've chosen that area so I could hear things, or hear anything going around that area. And I was woken up by a really strange sound, what sounded like a cow in an abattoir being slaughtered. And then I heard what sounded like a radio playing, but a really tinny sound of a radio playing. And as I walked towards the direction I thought it was in, I got closer to what I thought the noise was, but it started coming from behind me. So as I moved back to the camp, I could hear it all around again. So I walked a different way, and I did this a couple of times, walking out away from the camp, and the noise got less and less. But as I got closer to where I was camping, the noise was like loud. Now, was it possibly a car radio coming over the canopy with the noise, and the wind was blowing it a certain way that it was just making the noise sound as though it was around the camp? I don't know. Or was it something unusual? Was it something paranormal that I'd heard that day or that night? And I'm talking like 2 o'clock in the morning, this was when I was waking up, between 2 and 3. And it took me a bit to get back to sleep again, but I did do eventually. And then the next minute it was, daylight, and it was quite a nice night. Apart from that, it did bother me a bit, but it didn't put me off wanting to come back in here. It's not put me off wanting to do any camping in here. But today I thought I'd come here, sit here, and just sit, listen, and see if anything happens. It's so quiet, you can just hear the bit of wind every so often going through the trees. I don't know if you're picking it up, but there is no noise, there's nothing. It's very peaceful, and it's quite nice. I'm going to sit here quietly for a minute and listen to the noises. And if you want to, with your volume, turn it up and see whether you hear any noises or whether anything comes through the microphones. Every so often, I think you can hear cars going past the road, and because of the winds blowing in this direction, it's sending that noise here, and it sounds as though we're right next to the road, but we're not. We're quite a distance away from the road. See, I'm sat here half expecting to see something. Because like the camper, like David, you know, he sat around his fire and he said he was sat there and it was peaceful and quiet, and that's when he heard the twig snap. There were a lot of twigs around here. Quite not large twigs, but got twigs like that. So this is what he heard from behind. And that crunching like that. And that's what caught his attention for him to turn round and see what he saw. I am going to spend a while here. I'm going to spend maybe an hour, but I won't have the camera running for an hour. I'll probably end up standing up every so often. Or no, what I might do is just have the camera playing while I'm sat here, and I could just make the footage go a little bit faster. So you're not seeing that I'm sat here over an hour and watching just me sat here and looking round. Because I can imagine how boring that could be. In fact, I will every so often do that and then move the camera around and have it looking in different directions, so you can see all these different directions that I'm looking into. So there's noises coming from up above me, but that'll be the wind rubbing the trees together as they're moving. Because I'm here within a lot of pine trees, and then we've got a silver birch on its own here, growing up. I don't know if you heard that then, and that was something falling from the trees. And every so often I'm hearing a creaking in that direction, so these noises I'll get used to and recognise that these are the noises of this bit of wood I'm sat in. Recently I did a video doing a bit of urban exploring, and I quite enjoyed doing that, and will do some more urban exploring. What I'm doing is looking for places locally to me where they're empty and they've got a bit of a reputation of strange things happening in these places. So I'd like to do them, and so if there's anyone out there who's from the area of Bolton, or like within the 30-mile radius of Bolton, could you give me a shout and give me some ideas of where we can go and do this urban exploring within these strange buildings, these buildings with hauntings or strange accounts that have happened around these buildings, because I'd like to do a few more of them, and I know Lee and Harlan would like to do a few more. It would be interesting to go and just do it a little bit different than what other urban explorers do, because sometimes you'll watch a few urban explorers and the videos are the same, and they're going out looking for something, they're running around the buildings, scaring each other. But I don't want any of that. What I want is showing you exactly what happens in these buildings as we're walking around in them. And if nothing happens, nothing happens. But if something does happen, then we've caught it, even if it's a sound somewhere. But it would be good to, see evidence with our eyes of something happening, something strange going on. And yeah, and doing a lot of the walks, like the last walk I did was with Kaz and Darren and Cooch, and we'd gone up to Roddlesworth to have a look around that area. Since that video was put out, it's been quite wet, so we've not been able to go back to that area. Because as we were heading back away from that area, we ended up going along a path which was quite, not too muddy, but I can imagine after a bit of rain it being quite bad, and I had to walk them. We are hoping as well to get over to Cannock Chase and do a night over there. But rather than just spending our time in the war cemetery, we thought we'd head over to other places in the Chase that these things have happened, where cryptids have been seen. What I do want to do is go more to the area where there has been the wildman sightings, to have a look around them areas and do what I'm doing now, but spending a day and then an evening there as well, either camping over or staying very late and then heading back after. Because I'd like to get more out there and look on the Bigfoot side of things, the British wildman, to see what evidence can be found. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of people out there doing this for a long time, but to actually go to the areas that things like that have been reported in, and show you around these areas, and maybe take you to the place where someone has had an encounter with one, it'd be good for you to be shown what it's like in that area, like this, to be shown this area I'm in. You seeing it and knowing when you listen to some of these accounts that I receive, that you're seeing what the areas are like and where people have experienced these encounters in these areas. Because when I get a report, I like to go to them areas, I like to feel the area, sense what the area is like, and to sit around and do what I'm doing now. It's not often I sit here with a camera on me and talk about it, because usually I like sitting here with nothing running at all, and just sitting there in the peace and quietness of it all, and just taking in the ambience of the place. because I mean, I'm very sorry, I thought you heard something then, but I don't think I did. I think it's just the wind blowing. So I've actually been here now about an hour and a half, and what I'm going to do is I'll look through the video of what I've taken while I've been sat here today, and if I see anything, then I will pinpoint it out. What I mean by that, if I see anything from behind me, because I've not seen anything in front, but I will walk back now and head through the woods to the path in that direction and head back to the car. It has been quiet. There's been a few noises. And it is early in the morning, so there's no dog walkers here. Now, I don't know if you heard that then, but there was like a noise in that direction behind the camera. It sounded like wood knocking. I'm going to turn you around and face. I'm going to walk in that direction of where I just heard that. Well, that's where it came from. I can hear it in the, not in the distance, but I can hear wood knocking. There again. And it's coming from that direction. Now, I know I can't walk right through that because there's a stream right in the middle of that. I mean, I can walk so far, but I can't. Once I get to the stream, I can't cross because it's too high. It's in a little valley, but it's too high. But I will walk in here a bit. There he goes again. And it sounds as though it's getting closer. Now, I'm unsure about walking in here because you see all these fern trees, but we've got ditches like that run along here, and I don't stand in it. So I'm going to go over actually into that direction, but I'm going to go round this. There. I'm hoping it's picking it up. I really am hoping this is picking that up. Right, well, I'm going to go along the path and I'll carry on with this, leaving it on. There again. But it seems to be going away Wait. Yeah, there's one in that direction, and then there's one in that direction. But they're a distance away from one another. I'm sorry about that, it just went, it just stopped recording. It's telling me that I'm very low on battery, which, as I was talking to you then, I had a 50% on battery, and it's just gone right down to 3%. So I've not got that long before this goes. Yeah, the wood knocking has stopped, but I am still going in that direction. It was quite strange. It seems to be coming from one direction, then it came from another direction, but mostly from one direction. And it was as though something was answering back by knocking again. I don't think I'm that far away from where the first set of wood knockings came from. But it's so quiet. And because I'm here so early this morning, I'm not, there's no dog walkers about. Unless there's somebody camping out there and they're just banging, knocking wood together. But why would they be coming from one direction and then from another direction? That's a strange part about it. Now, I know I'm in the place now where it was coming from, or I think I know I'm in the place where it was coming from. If I can find a dry bit, because it's very wet in this area. In fact, I'm being bitten. While I'm talking to you, I can feel them biting because of the dampness of the place. It's almost quite swampy. I think I can get over here. Now I'm getting down to 2% now. I'm being bit like mad. They're really biting me head. I'll try to walk around these areas where it's all wet and boggy without falling into it. But there's nothing here, there's nothing at all, no noises. You can hear the birds chirping away. I don't know what it was. And there's definitely no one camping around here. Or should I say, I can't smell any wood burning. Because you can always tell when there's a camper around, you'll smell the wood. So why would they, if it was a camper and they were knocking the wood together for some reason and then setting a fire, then why would they be sending a signal out to one person and then getting it back from another area? The same noise. That was a strange one then, because it went quiet as well. That's what was strange about that. It went really quiet. Now I'm getting a warning now to say I've only got 1% battery left. So what I'm going to have to do with this one is make my way back and maybe charge in the phone if I've got my charger. I thought I'd brought it this morning, early this morning, but I don't seem to have it in my bag, the I have a solar charger which I usually have in my bag. See, there's a different atmosphere now altogether from when I heard that, because everything just went quiet, and I heard the banging, there's the wood knocking. I really hope I picked it up, and then you can hear it, and leave your comments in the comment section. But I'm a bit nervy now walking around here after hearing that and knowing what's happened in here. You know, is it because I know about the place and I know what's happened in this area? People seeing things, people seeing shadows, and other entities around here. It does make you think when you've just heard something like that of what it could be. So anyway, I'm going to have to stop yabbing now because the battery's going to go at any moment, and I will let you know when I get back. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of what happens from where I am now to getting back to the car if anything else does happen. Because you never know, it might do now that the battery's on its way. I can't believe I've not brought my charger on. I usually have a spare charger in my bag. Bit of a rush job this morning and getting out here. Anyway, on that note, thanks for watching, and I'll let you know when I get back if anything happened. Oh, see, I'm getting noises, and the sound is of something moving around over there. I hope I'm not being followed. Oh no, I hope I am being followed, and if so, I hope I get it on camera. Let me just quickly turn it round. So I'm getting some sort of noise over there. I mean, it's early morning, it could be rabbits, could be deer running around, and I'm a bit spooked after hearing that noise. But I don't know. What's that? See, the wind's blowing as well, and the branches are moving, so that's making noise.